Hello and welcome to Pearls of Paradise. My name is Courtney and normally I'm coming to you from Parma, Ohio, where I live with my husband and all of our yarn. But today I am coming to you from Malabar Farm State Park in Lucas, Ohio, where we have been on vacation this week. Today is Wednesday, May 10th. I normally record on Fridays, but it's nice, and Friday we'll be heading home, and I just don't want the stress of recording that day, so we're doing it now. This will be kind of a different episode, so thanks for joining me, and bear with me a little bit. I've already recorded this once and didn't like it, so we're trying again. Housekeeping things. Things from this episode will be linked down below, as well as my Pokemon Go friend code, my Ravelry, and my Instagram. It is the month of May, so if you're following me on Instagram, you'll know already I am participating in Me Made May, where you wear a different me-made or handmade by you wardrobe item every day and post about it. So I'm doing that over there. Feel free to join me. I'd love to see what you all are wearing for Me Made May too. I think that's all my admin stuff. I am at a state park. So a couple things with that. It is still a working farm. You may hear some farm equipment in the background. You may hear some cows mooing. And it's a state park. So there will be people around. There are vehicles that may come through here. People may pop in. My husband's around here somewhere. There are birds everywhere. There are frogs. There are snakes. We are out in the wild, people. Out in the wild, and there's just wildlife. So just be aware of that. There are lots of cool birds flying around. So if you see me looking around or looking off, that's probably what I'm looking at. I wish you all could see my view. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I will include some footage of our vacation and the things that we've been doing. Maybe intermittently in here. I'm not sure. Maybe at the beginning, maybe at the end. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't gotten that far. This is the first more vloggy style episode that I'm trying. It's not really vlogging. I don't know. We're just going with it. So anyways, how are you all? I'm so glad that you joined me today. Couple things coming up that I do want to let you know about before I forget. I will be at the Great Lakes Yarn and Fiber Show. Anyways, it's at the Wayne County Fairgrounds on Memorial Day weekend. I'm planning to go on the Sunday. If you see me there, please stop me and say hi. I'd love to meet you. And then I will also be at Mid-Ohio Fiber Fair in Newark, Ohio, I believe on June 10th. That's a smaller show, so I don't know how long I'll be there for. I'll probably be there around when it starts. Maybe be there an hour. So same thing. Stop me and say hi if you see me. I'd love to meet you. All right. Well, let's get to it. I will go ahead and let you all know I don't have a ton of knitting content. I did not knit that much over the past couple of weeks. Last week, I spent all of my evenings getting ready for this trip, and in previous years, I've gotten a lot of knitting done on this vacation, but this year we've done a lot of hiking and things, so I haven't been knitting quite as much. So a little less knitting content this week. Sorry. I think that's something you can expect a little bit during the summer. I tend to be outside more. We have a car and an airplane. Okay. Sorry if you can hear all that. In the summer, I just tend to be outside more, doing outside things, hiking, things like that. So the knitting content may suffer just a little. What I'm wearing, we'll start there. So Me Made May, Day 10. I am wearing my first summer vest by Marley Bird. And this is knit in Karen Cotton Cakes. One is a sprinkles and the other is a rainbow color cake. I believe the sprinkles is French Macaron And I believe the rainbow, which I may be making that up. That may not be what it's called. The other one is the colorway Couture, and you hold them double. It's a great pattern. It's a nice cotton summer vest. Really a nice layering piece for a warmer day. Okay, that's what I'm wearing. I don't have exact notes on that. This episode is called Basically It Is What It Is here. All right, next up. This is the only project that really got a lot of work before my vacation, I think. This was my December 2021 winter solstice cast on, which is why it's still in a Christmas bag. I just haven't taken it out, but I'm hoping by next podcast, no promises, but I'm hoping this will be a finished object next time. And these are my Marvellous mini mitts by Mina Phillip, who is also, I believe, the knitting expat. And on my last episode, I showed my half object, my finished mitt. And I'll pop that on for you guys in case you haven't seen it. And the yarn is by Lady Dye Yarns. I bought the yarn sometime earlier in 2021, I think. It was part of a kit called Moira's Rose's Garden, based on a Schitt's Creek episode. And the dark gray, the kind of black, is called Apostrophes. And the hot pink is called No Roses. And it's not brioche. It's, I think, like a half fisherman's rib or something. It took me a long time to get it. I really struggled with the first mitt, which is why it took me so long, and I did not enjoy it. But the second mitt is going much more smoothly. So here's where I was last time. And I really only worked on this 2 days. I didn't work on this a whole lot. Just last week, my 2 work days that I had larger chunks of knitting time before work. And I got all of this done, which, if you can tell, I'm about ready to pop my thumb gusset in, which is very exciting. So I'm hoping these will be finished by the next episode. I would really like to have them done. I'd love to get the Christmas bag put away, and just get those off my needles. These are being knit on ChowGoo needles, US size 1.5, which is also the size I normally knit my socks on. So I'm also anxious to reclaim these needles. Okay, so again, Marvellous mini mitts by Mina Phillip. I have talked about this project at length, so I just don't have a lot more to say about it. Second mitt, much more enjoyable. Much more enjoyable. Okay, moving right along, we'll go with this bag. So another one I have talked about at length over and over and over is my Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West. And it doesn't look a whole lot different from last time. I did watch Raya and the Last Dragon the evening after I had filmed my last episode to discover I was in fact pronouncing everything correctly, the first time anyway. And I really liked it. So now I've seen it. I knit most of this while we watched that movie. So I got from our little gnome up to my needle. Not a ton done, but let me see if I can kind of show you. But I did get some done. So a little bit of progress, not a lot. I would really like to have this done soon. I had originally hoped to have this done for this vacation, to be wearing this on this vacation. It would have been the perfect thing last night when I was so chilly sitting at the fireplace, at the campfire. But obviously it is nowhere near done. So I think my next goal, although this seems kind of lofty, but we'll see. I would really like this done to go to the drive-in to see the new Little Mermaid movie. That's kind of my goal. It does have one colorway in it that is Little Mermaid inspired. So actually, let me talk about the yarn. If you've been around, you are probably sick of hearing about it because I've been talking about this for forever. So I'll run through this really quick. All of these were from Fangirl Fibers 2022 Disney Yarn of the Month Club. So I don't believe any of these colors are available anymore. But I did that club and I loved every skein of it. Okay, so Pinky Purple is Tale as Old as Time, inspired by Beauty and the Beast. The white has flecks of neons in it. It's hard to see, but that is called Glitch, inspired by Wreck-It Ralph. The blue here is Under the Sea, inspired by The Little Mermaid. The pinky purpley gold is Best Day Ever, inspired by Tangled. And this one is Sisu, inspired by Raya and the Last Dragon. So that's all I have done so far. I really would love that done for the drive-in, which I'm thinking I might, if they're showing it that weekend, maybe we'll go the weekend of Mid-Ohio Fiber Fair. That might be the weekend I go. But we'll see when the drive-in is showing it. And we'll see if it's even done at that point. Who even knows? I think there's like an I-cord border on the edge, and that's probably going to take me 800 years. So we'll see. But anyways, Vertices Unite Shawl by Stephen West. Yarn is by Fangirl Fibers. You have heard about it a million times if you're returning. By the way, welcome so much if you are new. Welcome back if you are returning. I am a terrible podcaster. I'm a little discombobulated today since we're in a different place and kind of doing this on a whim, to be honest. Okay, we are throwing things on the ground now. In living in my Star Wars bag is my latest headband. So I've been on a little bit of a headband kick. By little, I mean real tiny lately. But on my last episode, you saw I had finished my multicolored Alice headband, whatever you want to call it, by Claire Montgomerie and the patterns in her book, Knitting Vintage. And you saw me wearing it. I wore it several times after that. Really, really liked it. So on the last day of April, it was my sister-in-law's baby shower where I gave her the rainbow sweater, which, by the way, they loved it. So that's good. And I was walking out the door and realized I had nothing to knit on. And if you know me, I can't go anywhere without my knitting because you just never know. And a baby shower is the perfect place to knit and have your knitting. So I was like, oh, I need to grab something really fast. So I thought, well, I'll grab another skein of yarn real quick and cast on another one of these headbands. So I am using Tina's Twisted Fibers Ultra Fingering in the colorway Butterfly Wings. And I absolutely love this. I knit the Olive Cardigan by Joji Locatelli out of this. And I have quite a lot left over. So I thought, well, I'll use some of it to make a headband to go with my cardigan or just for whatever. And the pattern is really easy, really memorizable. So I thought, okay, I can cast that on and knit it in the car on the way to the baby shower, at the baby shower, on the way home. And it has been great car knitting this week as we came down here and as we've gone on all our excursions. And look how stinking pretty it is. I love the way the yarn is playing in this pattern. It is so pretty. It's going to be such a pretty headband. And I like that then it plays differently on the I-cord string. So I will probably finish this maybe even on the way home on Friday, because we are pretty close. I'm pretty close to working on the second cord. I already have grabbed another skein of yarn for the next one. I would really like a whole collection of these headbands to go with different outfits or whatever. It's a great way to use up scraps or just extra yarn, or mini skeins that are a little on the larger side or whatever. So I'm loving this. Love, love, loving it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So anyways, the yarn is Tina's Twisted Fibers. And the pattern is, depending on where you look at the pattern information, there are different names for it. Either the Alice headband or the multicolored headband. It doesn't really matter, but. And those are knit on my ChowGoo needles. A pair of US 1 and a pair of US 2. Right now I'm using the US 2. So there's that. All right, next up, we'll go with this one. So this is another new cast on. It's my birthday cast on, which is the, I heard it drop, the confetti crop top. Whoop. I'm perched on the edge of this Adirondack chair. This is an interesting podcasting setup here today. So anyways, confetti crop top by Knititude. And you can see it's got like a little lace yoke. It should be a really nice layering piece over some high-waisted kind of, I don't know, just cotton skirts that I have that hit like below the knee. They're really lovely. I love wearing them in the summer. They have giant pockets. I love them so much. Anyways, they'll go great with that. It'll go great with that. So the yarn I am using is Halo Fingering by Hannah Made It, who I do not believe dyes anymore, in her feline colorway. And it is 90% superwash merino, 10% linen, which gives it that beautiful halo. And it's a single ply. I don't work with a lot of single plies, and I don't work with a lot of linen. So this is kind of different for me, but I think it will make a really beautiful summery tee. I have not gotten very much done on this. I barely even got it cast on my birthday. We were so busy. I was trying to squeeze in all of my favorite things, and I stayed up pretty late to get this done. Pretty late for me. But it was still my birthday, so ahead of midnight. And this is all I've gotten done on it. Not a whole lot. I really thought I'd have more done. I just thought I'd spend more time knitting, and I have not. So it was originally supposed to rain this week, the whole week, and then they pushed it to half a week, and then they took the rain out of the forecast completely, and it has been beautiful. So I just haven't been knitting. We've been hiking and doing all the things. I'll talk about that in a few minutes at the end of the episode. But anyways, there's that. I don't have a whole lot to say about it because I haven't gotten very far. But so far it's fine. There's just nothing to say. You may have noticed these are not ChowGoos. These are my new Knit Picks interchangeables. So last week, after really thinking about it, I decided that it was time to treat myself. It was time, with the amount of sweaters and tees and things I have planned, that it was time. It was just time to buy a set of interchangeable needles. I really want the ChowGoo interchangeables, but I wasn't quite ready to make that kind of financial commitment. not knowing how I'd feel about interchangeables. I also, the last couple of sweaters I've knit on bamboo needles or wood. And I really liked it more than I thought I would. So for now, this is what I'll be using for sweater knitting. And it was 20% off. So it was way cheaper than buying the Chowgu set. I probably, if I decide I like the whole interchangeable thing, I will probably eventually get the Chowgu set, but this is a nice way for me to have a set to try for sweater knitting. So these are wooden rainbow needles. And I mean, we all know I love a good rainbow anything. So that was exciting. And I did buy some extra cords because they didn't have all the sizes that I wanted and needed for this project included. And yeah, the case is really nice. It's got pockets, it's got that pocket, and there's a pocket here. And then there's also a nice pocket on the back. Oh, and a little zip pocket where I'm keeping my stoppers. So I do love this case. Love, love, love the case. And to be honest, the interchangeable, I think I was a little nervous about the tightening part. It wasn't hard. It was really easy. I can't really speak about the needles yet though, because I have knit like 2 rounds with them. I just haven't had time to do enough to where I can feel like I can give an honest review. But I love the case. It's super cute. And there won't be any more of, well, I wanted to knit this sweater, but I only had one of the 5 needles I needed. And yeah, we won't have to do that anymore. So it will also, if I do my sweater knitting with these, free up my Chowgus for shawls, which I really still want those for shawls and socks and things of that nature. So that's also great. So that's that. You all have been hearing me go back and forth on whether or not I wanted to get some. I have finally done it. Happy birthday to me. There's that. Okay, we're moving fast. Not for any particular reason. Just, there's not a lot to show this time. And I'm in a different location and it's just thrown me off a bit, but that's okay. So I have another new cast on. I have had so many projects marinating in my brain. I have been dreaming and planning a lot lately. One of the first things I do in the morning is hop on Ravelry when I am drinking my first cup of coffee and look through my project page, look through my queue, look at hot patterns, whatever. Just starting the day with inspiration and beautiful yarny things makes me so happy. And lately I've been itching to cast on about 1 billion things. So many projects. I have so many plans. I have yarn set aside for projects. Just a lot that I really want to cast on. But I also know myself, and I know if I cast on too much without finishing things, it will overwhelm me, and then I'll feel yucky, and then I won't cast anything on when I want to, and it's a whole thing. I wish I could be someone. I know there are people who have like 50 whips on the go, and I wish I could be one of those people, but that much overwhelms me. On the flip side, I can't do like 2 projects. That doesn't work for me. That's too few. Yeah. And part of it is I need projects that I can take with me easily. I need projects that will exercise my brain. I need just a bunch of different kinds of projects. So anyways, I've been wanting to cast things on, and I think on my last episode I had like 4 finished objects. And granted, I cast on another headband and I cast on a birthday cast on, but I really wanted something else, something totally different. So I gave my husband a list of, I think, 7 projects, 7 patterns, the yarn, and told him to pick one. And this is the one he picked, which Let me get out a page with pictures. Oh, here we go. This is the Headlands shawl by Jill Zielinski, who is Knitterella. So there's that. And it's a beautiful 3-color shawl. I have had the yarn for this for almost a year now. I bought it at last year's Mid-Ohio Fiber Fair, or Fest, or whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, the Mid-Ohio one. I am just going to show you the ball band because I know I'm going to mispronounce the name of the dyer, which I do apologize. And I don't remember her name either, but she was very kind, very, very nice when I met her, and I bought this yarn from Youngahany, I don't know, yarns. I think it's like a region in Pennsylvania, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, there's the ball band. And it is knit in her Highland sock base, which is 85% superwash merino and 15% naps. And it's this beautiful tweed. This color is Pink Panther. And this one is Green Apple. And look how beautiful those two are together. These gorgeous, bright, juicy neons. I absolutely love them. And then everything is falling. It's fine. Gray. My husband picked out the gray when I saw these two. These two skeins were in her booth, like next to each other or close to each other. And I kept walking past and I was like, oh my gosh, I want those. I don't know what I'd make with them. They're so bright. They're so pretty. And finally I went over and I was like, okay, I've got to get these. And my husband was like, oh, look how nice the gray would look with these. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get that. Then I have another option, you know, and do more with 3 skeins than with 2. And I realized that they would be great for this pattern. So I also had him choose color placement for me because he's better at that kind of thing than I am. And this is what I have so far. I am loving every second of knitting this shawl. It is so fun. The colors are so bright. I love the lace. It's so pretty. I love the stripes. I just am absolutely loving this. So this is also where a lot of my knitting time went last weekend, was in between packing and getting ready, sitting down and knitting on this. I love, love, love it. Marking my right side, which this will be your little progress keeper for this project, is this cute birthday cupcake by Simply Serving. And she matches, so even better. And I am really, really adoring this. So I have a feeling you'll see this a lot. Now, there is coming up going to be a very large garter section that is in gray. And if you've been around a while, you know how well I do with knitting neutrals. So we will see how that goes. But it's either going to go really slow because I'll get to the gray and I will get really bored and then I'll put it down for something else colorful and shiny. Or it will go very, very quickly because it is garter, and the faster I get through it, the faster I get to the neons again. So we'll see. But I wanted one of the neons as the main, but then my husband pointed out it will be much more wearable with the neons, not as the main, and that will make the neons pop a lot more. And I think he was right. So anyways, that is my Headlands shawl by Jane Zielinski. And that is all of my knitting content for this time. So if that's what you're here for, Sorry that there wasn't a whole lot. Future plans, like I said, I have a ton of projects marinating in my head, a lot of things I want cast on soon, but I don't have any of the yarn or patterns here with me today. I think the next couple of weeks are going to be finishing up weeks, and then maybe I'll cast on a new project Memorial Day weekend. Maybe? I'm not sure. We'll see. I haven't made a lot of progress this week, so we'll see. And it looks like I'm going to run out of battery soon, so we're going to talk really fast. I will include some footage of our trip, pictures, videos, probably at the end here. Quick life update. Like I said, we've been on vacation this week. It's been great. Monday was my birthday. Tomorrow is my husband's birthday. Today, when I'm filming this, is my sister-in-law Katie's birthday, and she does sometimes watch, so happy birthday, Katie. She and my husband are twins. Different birthdays, but they're twins. So we have a big week this week of birthdays. Like I said, our week has been filled with hiking and petting baby farm animals and having campfires and feeding birds at the Ohio Bird Sanctuary, which is a super cool place. If I had more battery life, I would talk way more about these things. We took the wagon tour of this state park, which we hadn't done yet. So that was cool. We went to Kingwood Center Gardens, which was beautiful. That's one of my favorite places. And just have been having a really lovely, great week outside. The weather's been gorgeous. And yeah. So anyways, that's all I have for you today. Sorry that this was so short, but hopefully you'll enjoy the little footage, and maybe I'll take another video or two to chat with you to share more about our trip, or if I do some more knitting over the next couple days, but we'll see. Anyways, I hope that you all can find some time to craft in your little corner of paradise. I'd also love it if you would like or subscribe or comment on my video. That would be awesome. But craft in your corner of paradise regardless. And I'll be over here knitting in my little corner of paradise. And then when I go home, I'll be knitting in my little corner of paradise. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, friends. Bye.